So how many vaccines do children actually get? Because I think that this is a big part of the problem, is the fact that vaccines are recommended for the youngest age group at risk for experiencing the disease for whom efficacy and safety have been demonstrated. Well, I guess that means like none of them as far as I'm concerned. So this was the vaccines, because a lot of parents will say, well, you know, my kids are a little older. I mean, I don't remember them getting all those vaccines. I really don't. Well, as recently as 1985, this was the vaccination record. None at birth, DPT, polio, MMR, all by itself. DPT, polio, a little bit, that was it. When you do the math on that, that's 18 vaccines by the time they're 6 months of age and 33 by the time they start school, because DPT is 3 vaccines in 1 shot. Oral polio has 3 viruses in it, so that's like 3 vaccines in 1 shot. MMR, that's 3 vaccines in 1 shot. So when we say 33 vaccines, that doesn't mean 33 shots. That just means 33 antigens that have been placed into their bloodstream. Well, that was as recently as 1985. Well, look at the schedule now. Look what's happening. We got hepatitis B, DPT, Hib, polio, MMR, chickenpox, Prevnar, which is like 8 vaccines at one time, because that's 7 strains of pneumococcus plus diphtheria. And now we're going to start doing this little virus thing down here. Well, that's a lot of shots that happens out in this sort of age group, you know, after we've already sort of laid the foundation for that. So parents are kind of upset about that. They are really upset of all these vaccines the kids are getting. So this is the total table of that. Now they get 51 vaccines by the time they're 6 months of age and 77 by the time they start school. So we've gone from 33 from the time they started school to 77. What's the epidemic of all the things that are going on in our society in terms of all the other types of chronic diseases? And could it possibly be because we are injecting these things directly into the bloodstream? I mean, think about it. What do we do? Almost all of these, with the exception of the polio, these are all airborne respiratory infections. They get into your system through breathing. If Saddam Hussein blew across our country and dumped hepatitis B and diphtheria and tetanus and pneumococcus and pertussis and Hib and 3 strains of polio and 7 strains of pneumococcus bacteria and measles, mumps, and rubella all at the same time, we'd be screaming biological warfare. But we actually inject these things into our kids all at one time. You know, and so I think there's some real issues with that.